So there's been a bit of a back and forth in the Battlefield 6 community right now, with a ton of people who are really upset with how Battlefield Studios is basically dealing with the game, and other people who think that it just needs time. Some people are still upset over the delay. Yes, if you look at the Steam charts, it does look like Battlefield 6 is losing a lot of players pretty fast. And if we take a look at the fact that Battlefield 6 is also falling on the top play charts on both Xbox and PlayStation, it is a pretty concerning trend. Now, I do think that most of it is probably attributable to the fact that Season 1 was delayed this long, and that it's taking forever for Season 2 to actually kickstart, especially since we didn't get that much content in Season 1 to justify this much time on it. The maps were kind of subpar to a lot of players, and people are just anticipating something different for Season 2. While I personally think Season 3 is where we're probably going to be seeing the most, kind of amount of changes, Season 2 doesn't seem to be too bad so far based on all of what we're hearing from leaks and official news. Last time I made a video, I talked about some of the leaks that were there, but it looks like we've got some more leaks, so I kind of wanted to cover that in today's video and just kind of go through what I think about Season 2's kind of look so far. So before we do that, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications set to all so you can stay up to date with all of the content here in the channel, and let's just dive right on into it. Now, it looks like Season 2 is gearing up to be something pretty interesting, and it looks like it's got a lot of content in it. However, there are definitely some mixed reactions to some of the things that I've been seeing. Some people are just not happy with the state of the game. Some people just aren't happy with the state of what Season 2 is going to look like. However, I do think that Season 2 does actually have some pretty interesting elements to it, most notably the fact that the theme does kind of revolve around chemical warfare. So this definitely allows for them to kind of introduce some new maps, new gadgets, new weapons, things that are very related to this, new skins, things like that. And it looks like a lot of the maps might be taking place somewhere in either the US or Western Europe. It's kind of not 100% clear where the maps are going to be. Contaminated, which is the confirmed map that's going to be in Season 2, does look like it's going to be in Western Europe. However, we do know that there is going to be another map which so far is being referred to as Subsurface. Now, from data mines, it doesn't look like there's a ton of information about what this map is going to be like, how it's going to play, what it's going to look like, these sorts of things. It doesn't really seem like there's a lot from the labs tests that people have been kind of working through. Now, this does kind of imply that we know that naval warfare is not going to be in Season 2, so maybe Season 3 or Season 4. I'm gonna guess Season 3 just because, and I spoke about this a while ago, but there was a data mine leak that showed that jet skis were going to be in Season 3, obviously implying that there was going to be some water-based warfare, so I'm guessing naval warfare is going to be a Season 3 thing, and Season 2 is still going to kind of remain with this more boots on the ground situation. Now, I'm hoping that we at least get a map in Season 2 that does involve jets, because so far what it looks like from the two maps that we're hearing about, Contaminated doesn't include jets. It has the Little Bird and the just standard helicopter that's in the game right now. And Subsurface, if it's going to be an underground map, then that's obviously not going to be including really any aircraft. So hopefully we do get a jet-based map, or a map that does include those, because I know that this is something that a lot of people in the community have been saying, that there just aren't enough maps with jets. So because Subsurface is an underground map, there is something that's kind of interesting that I saw in one of the recent data mines. So basically, it looks like in Season 2, we might be seeing a new gadget aside from kind of the ones that we've heard about from the leaks so far, which are night vision goggles. So according to Temporal, prominent leaker in the Battlefield space, it looks like night vision goggles are going to be in multiplayer, and they're not just going to be kind of pieces for cosmetic looks on skins. It looks like they're going to be gadgets in Season 2. It looks like they're going to be gadgets that are going to be limited by batteries that recharge when the night vision goggles aren't being used. Apparently, they share the temporary gimmick gadget vibe that the gas masks are supposed to have, so obviously with Season 2 being a gas-based season, there's going to be the introduction of gas masks. It also looks like basically when the NVGs aren't being used, they recharge. So it looks like the goggles are actually going to be lining up with the second map in Season 2, which is Subsurface. So maybe what this is implying is that Season 2 is going to introduce something a little bit different. So we know gas masks, night vision goggles, obviously that's prime for some more limited time modes or some map variants. So in Season 1, we got the Ice Lock variant of Empire State, which was the snowy version of that map. So maybe they're going to be doing something kind of similar in Season 2, maybe some night variants of existing maps just to kind of add some more uniqueness to things. However, if they are temporary gadgets, I do wonder how that's going to actually play out. And what I do wonder is Subsurface going to be kind of something similar to the way a Operation Metro was, those sorts of, kind of underground maps, smaller, more infantry based. Is it going to be something like that? Or is it going to be a large underground map with an above ground section? Not really clear obviously right now what it's going to be like, but with night vision goggles that does introduce a pretty interesting angle. So on top of that, we also got to see some leaks for RedSec, which is the free-to-play Battle Royale mode. So it looks like for RedSec, there's going to be a ranked mode in Season 2, and it looks like there's going to be divisions that are separated into things like, gold, bronze, silver, those sorts of things. And every time you get into a new division, it looks like there's going to be some rewards. And also with ranked, sometimes if you go down because you lose a match, there might be a demotion shield system to protect you from losing rank after a bad game. Not clear if that's like a permanent thing or if that's going to be something that after 3 tries, you start losing rank. Now, in terms of gameplay, it looks like there's going to be gas zones. So this is pretty similar to apparently what was seen in the footage from Contaminated, because there's going to be some zones, in RedSec as well. On top of it looks like the fire. So it looks like they're not replacing the fire, which I'm pretty happy about because I felt like that was actually something unique for RedSec, but instead it looks like there might be hostile pockets on the map. Then there's also going to be a new mission, which is a chemical warfare mission in RedSec. So if you're not familiar with RedSec too much, basically I played it a couple of times, and the missions are just kind of things you do in game to accomplish something with the intention to actually obtain stuff like high value loot or points or whatever it may be, strikes, stuff like that. And the missions just tend to be something like, retrieve something or copy data from this computer in these areas on the map, stuff like that. So it looks like there's going to be a chemical warfare mission. And then for the call-ins, it looks like there's going to be a gas strike and some more new loot in RedSec. For Gauntlet, it looks like there's going to be a new gas-related mission called Chokehold, and according to this leak here, basically you have to find chemical ingredients and mix them together at a specific location. Either you pick them up from certain parts of the map or you take down enemies and take it from them, and the objective is to successfully complete the mixture and unleash a gas strike on the opposing team. So according to this leak here, it looks like this isn't a complete list of the new content for RedSec, but it's just a couple of notable items from the data mined files. So this kind of received some mixed reactions from people who didn't seem too happy about the fact that they were putting so much effort into RedSec, but at the same time, I'm sure there is a large amount of people that do actually play RedSec, that enjoy RedSec, and even if they just mostly play Battlefield 6, they might have friends or something like that that play RedSec with them. I personally don't hate RedSec and I don't mind its existence. I just think that, so long as they're putting enough effort into both aspects of this game, then it should keep everyone happy. And so far, it does seem like anyways, their focus does primarily look to be Battlefield 6. And then, RedSec just kind of gets updates as if it's just another, kind of conquest or breakthrough. That's personally kind of how I feel with what they're doing with RedSec. It's not like taking over the identity of Battlefield so far, but maybe you have a different take. Let me know in the comments below what you think about RedSec. For the most part, the leaks look pretty interesting. I'm curious to see what official details we're going to be getting. It's taking forever, but we're getting there slowly. Anyways, leave a like, share, subscribe, and comment below what you think about what they're doing with Battlefield 6 in Season 2. Share this video, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications set to all so you can stay up to date with all of the content here in the channel. And that's all for today, folks.